It's officially happened. And yeah, man, Erika Kirk is now fired up against Candace Owens. She has made a number of statements on different shows throughout the past couple of days, and Candace has issued multiple responses. The first one that I want to dive into is the interview that Erika had on Fox News on Faulkner Focus, where she did not mention Candace's name, but I think we all know who she was talking about. Let's go ahead and bring this in here. Get ready for guys, get your tissues. Get your tissues, guys, so you can dab the corner of your eyes. I'm sorry. Is that bad? That's bad, guys. I'm sorry. Was that bad? Too soon? Okay, let's go.
With Erika Kirk sharing her journey with America and the world, we are grateful at Fox to have her here to shine a light on healing as we all miss and mourn the loss of her beloved Charlie Kirk. Not all of her journey has been without, well, hate, conspiracies, and oddly, speculation about where her husband is buried. Now, for the first time, Erika, who's with me now, addresses all of it from the perspective of a grieving widow, a mom, and a battle-tested American. Good to see you again today. Talk to me about this part of the conspiracies that are out there, this disturbing part that people are trying to guess where Charlie is.
Can I have one thing? Can I have one thing? Can my children have one thing? Everything was public. We will be building the most beautiful memorial for my husband at Turning Point USA, and it will be for the world to see, and it will be spectacular, and it will have basically museum style for our Charlie, for my Charlie. But can I have one thing? Can my
Erika Kirk filmed herself standing over Charlie Kirk's casket. She filmed herself standing over his casket, you guys. Whoo, child.
Babies have one thing where we hold it sacred, where my husband is laid to rest, where I don't have to be worried about some secular revolutionary coming and destroying my husband's grave while my daughter is sitting there praying.
Why does it have to be secular revolutionary? Does everybody see what she did there? It almost kind of sounds like a script. It's got to be, they have to be a secular person. They have to be a revolutionary person. Wow.
This is my husband. Yes, he was Charlie Kirk to the world, and I know so many people love my husband, and I am grateful for that. But this is my husband, and I want to be able to have one thing left that is sacred to our family, to my in-laws, to my babies, and to my parents. One thing.
What are they taking from you right now?
Nothing. But I will tell you what they are doing. It reminds me so much of chapter 6 in the book of Nehemiah. He is building a wall, and the townspeople are at the base of that hill saying, Nehemiah, calling him all these names, saying all these things, come on down. Every single time he had the same message 4 times in a row. I cannot come down. I am busy building. That is how I feel. I do not have time to address the noise. My silence does not mean that I am complacent. My silence does not mean that somehow Turning Point USA and all of the handpicked staff that loved my husband and my husband loved them is somehow in on it. We are busy building. And you know what I thought? I thought these people are human. We are all grieving in our own way. And they are trying to find the answer to something that happened that was so evil. They are trying so hard. And I get that. We're doing the same. Anytime we hear a lead or anytime we hear anything, we send it to the authorities. Please dig into this. No rock will be unturned. I want justice for my husband, for myself, for my family, more than anyone else out there. So for me, you want to keep telling me to come down while we're building? I don't have time for that. But here's my breaking point on that. Come after me, call me names, I don't care. Call me what you want, go down that rabbit hole. Whatever. But when you go after my family, my Turning Point USA family, my Charlie Kirk Show family, when you go after the people that I love, and you're making hundreds and thousands of dollars every single episode going after the people that I love because somehow they're in on this, no.
You know,
first of all, get some popcorn, folks. Get comfortable. First of all, let's talk about the first part. It almost feels like she's reading a script. To me, like when I'm watching this, it almost feels like she's auditioning for, like, I don't know, the return of 90210, Millennial or something. I don't know. It feels like she's reading a script. The way she's talking, the cadence, the way that it's coming out, right? Remember, she was a pageant girl. So, it ain't like she ain't had experience, doing some type of acting stuff before too. I think she was also on a reality show. It feels scripted. Okay, so there's that. 2, the part about people making money. Everybody knows who she's talking about. She didn't say Candace's name, but let's keep it real. Who's been really digging into this the most? Candace, right? Tucker Carlson, though, has now even come out and made statements on Theo Von's show saying he doesn't buy the narrative from the FBI about this either. But I think we all know she's talking about Candace. You talking about people making money from Charlie Kirk's death, but you sitting right there in front of Faulkner with a book that you trying to sell. I can't make this up. You got, like, what is happening here? Let's stop pretending like you ain't trying to make no money right now, because you is. You ain't giving that book away for free. You going on different shows to sell that book that Charlie Kirk wrote, and you trying to make some money. And Turning Point USA is making some money right now. So why is she pretending like? Okay. Let's go on.
I have to say it. I've never seen you like this.
No, this is righteous anger because this is not okay. It's not healthy. This is a mind virus. Yes, I believe in our judicial system. I do.
Girl.
We have a hell of a team working on this. Excuse my French. But this is not okay.
So you want to put these people back in the box where they've been creeping from?
I don't care what box you're in. But just know that your words are very powerful and we are human. My team are not machines and they're not robots. They are human. We have more death threats on our team and our side than I have ever seen. I have kidnapping threats. You name it, we have it. And my poor team is exhausted. And every time they bring this back up, what are we supposed to do? Relive that trauma all over again? They watched my husband get murdered. I have no idea how I would have reacted if I was there that day. And thank the good Lord that I did not have to see that happen. But my team, they are rocked to the core. So why every single day do they have to be dragged through the mud, analyzed, hyper-analyzed?
They weren't too rocked to the point that they weren't able to get back in front of a camera and keep that podcast going. I'm not trying to be mean, but look, you guys are, you're talking to Sabby right now. I'm not on Fox News. I'm not on CNN. I can say things here that they would never let me say on there. That's why you don't see me on there. And this is just the reality, folks. Okay. And people talked about different ways of grieving. I talked about that before on the show as well. But to me, it was just very fast how that same team just managed to jump right back in to the podcast that wasn't even there to begin with. It was actually Charlie Kirk's show, but they were able to jump back in and just say, let's keep this machine going. Got to make that money, honey. Couldn't even take time off to let everything just kind of sink in. Had to jump right in, kabam.
The conspiracies that are out there, all of the like. Do you think that there is more of it now because you do shine your light? I mean, did people just expect you would just go away?
I don't know what they expected.
They pick on you because of your accessories. I mean, I've seen some of it.
Oh, yeah. No, at this point, it's the conspiracy collection. Get it before Christmas. Like, seriously, wow. If you want to find and pick me apart, go right ahead. I do not care. I don't. This was happening before Charlie was murdered. Both of us have been through the ringer of people will call you whatever they want to call you. They will. But I have seen it firsthand impact the people that I love, and I'm done. And if people think that I was just going to wilt away, I'm not going to sit in a corner and cry and be in fetal position. This is a duty to my husband, and it's an absolute honor, and I will never back down. And so my message to them is to stop. To stop.
And that's what we will say here on Outnumbered 2. God bless you. Hold up your book.
Stop.
Hold up your book. But she talking about other people trying to make money. And here she is. Hold up that book. Sell that book. Make that money. I didn't see these people before in my life, you guys. I have to tell you, it's so fake and so scripted to me. And so let's get to the first part where Candace does respond. She responded twice. And I got to tell you something. I think a lot of people have really showed their ass. I don't know what's going on within that MAGA right-wing space, because I have seen Tim Pool's out there calling Kim Iverson smelly. Tim Pool has lost his crap too. He's coming after Candace. Nick Fuentes is coming. Everybody's coming after Candace at the same time. So that also, to me, it seems like it was a planned attack. Let's all just go after her at the same time. But the reality is here, folks, I just don't buy this acting from Erika Kirk. It just feels, and I feel, part of me feels bad saying that, because it's like, okay, well, she did lose her husband. Yeah, part of me, but also part of me feels like she milking this too, okay? You know what I mean? Why are they acting like Erika Kirk is the only person who lost their husband? Why are people acting like, you know who else saw their husband get shot in front of the world or was sitting right next to their husband? Philando Castile. Philando Castile was shot and killed right in front of his wife and his daughter. I see Fox News bring them on. I see Faulkner Focus bring on Philando Castile's wife and asked her, how are you doing? How are you coping? You see what I'm saying? So let's listen to this first part here from Candace. She's going to respond to that Faulkner Focus interview.
This is the same person who had somebody record her over Charlie Kirk's casket. That was not our business, truly. And I can say that decision was made by her. And there is, some credence to the claim that everybody grieves differently. I wouldn't even record myself over a casket ever. Okay. Some people maybe perhaps want to have that memory, but the decision to publish that, you crying over your husband's casket, and to publish his dead body on Instagram, was a decision that was made by Erika. And we can watch that. Take a look.
Oh, I love you. I can't even show that on here, you guys. I can't. I'm going to change it. Because to me, I felt like that was just like, why are you filming yourself in front of the casket? And then also, that's that thing about privacy, right? So it's like, you want to have a private moment. You don't want to have a private moment. Like, why did you need to film yourself doing that? Again, that's what I mean about the script. These things have happened to women for years. There are multiple women who you may even know that have lost their husbands. There are multiple women that watch their husbands get shot right in front of them. People talking about it was live stream. People saw a live stream. There were women who were right there when their husband was shot and killed right in front of them. So to me, it's just weird. The way that Fox News and Barry Weiss and her traitoring ass, it's really weird to me, the way that they're acting like this has never happened before, ever. Let's continue.
I'm sorry, but that whole thing right there is frustrating. And I'm going to explain to you why I just do not accept any of that. First and foremost, the idea that she does not have time. Okay, she definitely has time, okay? She's done Hannity, she's done The Five, she's done Fox and Friends, she's done Outnumbered, she's done Megyn Kelly Live, she sat down with the New York Times. She made time, by the way, in case you don't remember, to fly to DC for Sergio Gore to be sworn into the ambassador to India, as the ambassador to India, which feels kind of obscure and not necessarily related to Turning Point USA affairs, building affairs, or whatever it is. But sure, that's fine. I mean, obviously, you're also allowed to be a person if that's the homie and that's what you want to do. Sure. But we are indeed speaking about a coast-to-coast flight to stand up next to somebody and basically say, Charlie loved you. That was like the 15-second speech that she gave, right? Here's actually, we have a clip of that speech that she gave.
She had time for all of these things. She has time to go out there and sell that book.
Well, he was also very good friends with a guy named Charlie. We just knew him as Charlie, and his wife, who we love so much, is here with us. And maybe you know how close they were together. Maybe Erika, you could say a couple of words, please.
Honor to, sir. Charlie loved you. It's hard not to get emotional because I know that he would have been the first phone call when he found out that you were going to be taking this position. And the way that I was able to witness the two of you work together for years and to champion and support the president was absolutely humbling to witness. And I am so proud of you. And Charlie is going to be with you every beautiful
Thank you.
moment.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Dorothy.
That's just an ambassador to India swearing in ceremony. Again, if that's your friend and you want to be there, that makes sense. She's also a person, and she can decide what she wants to do there. But the point that I'm making is that's a coastal flight that she made to be there to watch a paper get signed. She has also made time for an upcoming CBS News town hall sit down with Barry Weiss, which was filmed today. So Erika Kirk has time. She has time. It is just what she means to say, not her priority, which is you are allowed to prioritize things in your own life. But this is not a matter of time constraint. It is not her priority to respond to the majority, actually. The majority of people think of this as BS. The majority of people think Turning Point is acting suspicious. And she does not feel that it is what she wants to do as a matter of priority, responding. Okay, that's fine. Now, to that point that people are making hundreds and thousands of dollars. I just don't get how there's not someone on this very large PR team, as we're seeing these PR campaigns go out, that doesn't go, hey, maybe we should strike that. They made $40 million like 2 nights ago at Mar-a-Lago. Maybe that feels kind of a little bit like let them eat cake-ish. Oh, and we've made more than separately from Mar-a-Lago. Turning Point USA, since Charlie was killed, just so you guys know, this is a fact, has made more than $100 million. That is separate from the $40 million they made at Mar-a-Lago the other night. So since
Turning Point USA, Turning Point USA, according to Candace, has made over $100 million, which is separate from the $40 million that they made at Mar-a-Lago. But Erika Kirk is out here talking about other people making money. I mean, that's a lot of money. $100 million. Oh, buddy.
Charlie has died, that organization has taken in $140 million. But gosh darn you people that are making hundreds of dollars every day on YouTube talking about Charlie Kirk's assassination and the BS narrative that is being fed and the very obvious psychological operation that is being employed to make you accept the BS that they are trying to sell to us. Gosh darn you. Did you make $1,000 today? Speaking about Charlie Kirk, well, you should be ashamed of yourself, says Turning Point USA, who in large part made that money because of those very people who gave to the organization immediately following Charlie Kirk's assassination. And the thing that is especially absurd about that is trying to almost like, I want to be clear that Turning Point USA is my family. The Charlie Kirk show is my family. She's just expanding the wings of people that we're not allowed to critique because they're in the family. If you call them fam, you can't critique them, right? Oh, I'm sorry. We actually are showing a clip of Rob McCoy defending a pedophile or trying to launder the reputation of that's fam. That's the CK show fam. Oh, I'm sorry. We are actually pointing to the fact that we know for certain that this person or organization is sexual deviant. That's fam. Don't you get me upset. I know that this is a now $150 million in the last 3-month organization and we employ tons of people, but you can't critique. You can't critique the fam. And I hate to.
Let me pause here for a second. So Erika, when they use that family excuse, that family label, like if you call your coworkers, your staff, like your fam, then it's basically their way of saying, I don't want you to criticize anybody that is a part of Turning Point USA. Guys, I covered a story a couple of days ago, might have been a week or so ago, of a Turning Point USA staffer who was a politician and both TPUSA staffer and a politician who now has a lawsuit against them for kidnapping and sexual harassment. But I guess Erika Kirk would say you can't talk about Jeanette because she's fam. You see how that works? Wild things, man.
Say this, but I'm going to be very clear here. This is why there are many people who do not believe that women are equipped to lead companies, because what you are watching here is an unbelievably emotional response that is absent of any logic, okay? If you really care about your team, answer the questions, okay? Just demystify the entire event. Answer, come out, sit down, answer the questions so people don't think Turning Point USA looks so suspicious. Don't try to like mom the organization and say, well, mother's upset because people are coming after her kids and all of this multi-million-dollar subsidiaries. That's my children, okay? The multi-million-dollar subsidiaries, Turning Point, like Turning Point Action, all that, those are my kids. So you can't critique them. Not a good idea. Okay, it may work in PR world. You guys, I know how it's an obvious PR campaign. It's never been more obvious of a psychological operation. I actually wish they would put me on payroll so I could help them make these things look more organic than having every single person that has been telling us to stop asking questions all make the exact same video within 4 seconds of each other, being like, whoa, Erika Kirk shuts down the No, she didn't even respond to one of the conspiracies. She gave us emotion. She gave us emotion. She said, I'm a mother, I am a wife, and we never asked about whether she was mother or wife. We want to know if she is a CEO and a chairman. And a CEO and a chairman has to compartmentalize. A CEO and a chairman cannot respond to valid questions and critiques about finances, about shady actions that are being taken by people that require presidential pardons, people that are meaningfully asking why we are not getting a clear answer of what took place on September 10th. A CEO, okay, does not get to respond and say, that's my family.
Woo! The gloves have come off. Erika can't seem to separate the two. Erika doesn't want to separate the two. Erika is doing that to get empathy from the audience, right? Because I know a lot of other women that are employees that are also moms and are also wives. But when people are critiquing their job, they don't stand up and say, I'm a mother. You know, it's just, I don't know. She can't separate the two, right? And I think that's intentional. I think Erika's doing that on purpose. I don't think she wants to separate the two. She wants to get as much empathy from people as possible, I think. So let's go a little bit further, honey buns. You guys ready? Okay. Because Erika Kirk was interviewed by Barry Weiss for this town hall. Now, the town hall was recorded. I believe it is going to air this Saturday. I believe that CBS town hall with Erika Kirk. Again, they are acting like this is the only woman in America whose husband has been killed. And people are like, well, it's who he was. And yeah, but I mean, come on, man. Like, come on. Wake up, people. Wake up. So she had this town hall with Barry Weiss, and part of it was already published. This one question that Barry Weiss did ask her about Candace Owens, and Candace is responding to that. And of course, Barry Weiss and them did this on purpose. So let's go ahead and get into this one.
By lawyers, but she still is not even convincing, despite having it ahead of time in this delivery. Take a listen.
The podcaster Candace Owens, okay? At one time, a friend of Charlie's, at one time, an employee of Turning Point. She has been one of the main peddlers of these conspiracies, and she is making a huge amount of money on it. She is building her business off of these lies. What do you want to say to her and the other people that are putting these lies out into the world right now?
Stop.
So look at the expression on Erika's face, right? Erika acts like she has no way to contact Candace Owens. So why does it take this town hall to happen and someone to actually like mention Candace's name for Erika to go, oh, stop. And look at the anger in her face. This is the same woman that stood on the stage and said, I forgive that young man. That's what she said about Tyler Robinson, who I still am not convinced. Still am not convinced is the shooter. But she said she forgive him. But when it come to Candace, oh, stop. Right? So let me tell you how messy Barry Weiss is, and this is intentional. If you notice, Faulkner did not mention Candace's name. She said, how do you feel about some of these conspiracies? But Barry Weiss mentioned her name, and she did that on purpose. There is a reason why Barry Weiss was selected to be the editor-in-chief at CBS News. That is to control the narrative, which is pro-Zionist. That's why she's there. And by the way, for all the white liberals who used to love them some Barry Weiss is removing or demoting a lot of the black employees at CBS News. And she just promoted Tony, the same guy who questioned Ta-Nehisi Coates about his book, The Message. Another Zionist. So this is Barry Weiss being messy, and she's doing that on purpose. Now I want you guys to ask yourself a question. Of all the women in the country who have had their husbands shot, killed, many of them in front of them, do you see any of them being offered a town hall? Think about it, folks. This is all to control the narrative. Erika Kirk is doing this television tour to get more empathy and sympathy. Along with this, she is going to push and spread that the left is dangerous, the left is radical. Oh my God, we got to stop the radical Islam. We got to stand up and defend Israel. She's not just there because Charlie Kirk was killed. She's there for a purpose. That's why Barry Weiss has her there. Faulkner, Fox News Faulkner, is married to a Zionist. So everybody needs to follow the breadcrumbs. Let's go on. Look at this. Look at the expression. She seems more angry here than she was when she was asked about Tyler Robinson. And she said, that young man, I forgive him. Lord Jesus.
That's it. That's all I have to say. Stop.
So this is just, to me, I'm going to also let you know, they pre-recorded this. Obviously, I told you this yesterday from about 11 o'clock to 4 p.m. I have sources just everywhere, CBS News. The people that were in the audience I showed you were emailing me, and they had to do multiple takes because Barry wanted to read a prompter. These questions were pre-submitted, okay? And I would like to respond to this loaded question. What would you like to say? The podcaster Candace Owens, and I'm not even going to address this repeat talking point about people making money, except for the people that have actually made off of all of the money, millions upon millions of dollars. But this is the new thing. It's like, if you keep doing what you were already doing in podcasting, or keep doing what you were already doing and doing ballistics on YouTube, if you catch a bunch of views, they want to convince you that like you wake up and you turn into a millionaire. Building her business. What are you talking about? I already had this business. I was already at the top of the charts. Okay, I said I wasn't going to talk about it. I actually did, because it's so ridiculous. Okay. But she says, I'm lying. And Erika responds, and her answer to what do you want to say to the podcaster Candace Owens, who is lying, is stop. So Erika would like me to stop lying. And I would like to honor that. Okay. I can only honor that if Erika is more explicit in terms of what I have lied about.
That was cold. Because here's the thing, right? Erika has not pointed out the so-called lies. Just the word stop. Okay. But she hasn't pointed out the so-called lies. Barry Weiss right now, and watch her, she's sneaky. Barry Weiss, along with others that I've seen online as well, they're going to try to wage this war against Candace Owens. That's why Tim Pool's losing his shit, because his money's gone down. His views have gone down. You know, I don't know. Take off the beanie hat, donate that or something, Tim. I don't know. It was just reported by the police department that they cannot confirm. They have no proof that anyone shot at Tim Pool's residence. That just came out today. Okay, so people are losing it. People are having meltdowns and I can't stand that. Right? They can't take it. But I could understand if Candace started this show after the death of Charlie Kirk. But she started this show after she was fired from the Daily Wire. You guys didn't want her, right? Didn't you guys like boot kick her from Turning Point USA? You guys didn't want her involved anymore. So she went on to do her own thing. And then she ended up doing better on her own. She was growing tremendously before Charlie Kirk died. We were talking about this months ago. Yeah, her growth has increased since then, but stop acting like she had like 5,000 subscribers and all of a sudden got to 100,000. That's the part that's really weird. So there's that. But I feel like Erika ain't really got no room to talk when she out here making money herself right now. You out here selling books. She was on Sean Hannity. She was on Faulkner's show. She just sat down with Barry Weiss. I mean, come on. So I don't know, man. I don't know. But you're going to see more of this. People just lashing out, and more people are going to come in and come after Candace because she's growing and she's doing well, and they're not. They're taking a hit. Ay, ay, ay.
What did I lie about? It's just incredible. There have this opportunity. The questions have been before. You could just start like going through them. Maybe they will. By the way, it's coming out on Saturday. Maybe I've made a mistake somewhere and I'm happy. I want to correct that, right? I'm not interested. My goal is not to tell lies. It is obviously plausible that I have made mistakes. I've reviewed these lists that we've put together and I can't find the lie. Okay. The lies that I find are coming out of Turning Point USA. Okay. And here are some of those lies. You know, Mikey had blood all over him. Okay. Mikey has offered that his dad was confused. I'll accept that. Well, I didn't lie about that. Rob McCoy lied. His father also said he called his father first. Maybe Rob McCoy was confused. Mikey being a hero for walking away doesn't feel honest. Charlie's neck stopping a 30-06 bullet because he ate healthy and had strong bones. It was a modern day Christian miracle. That feels like a pretty big lie. Okay. Charlie never wavered in his support for Israel was a nasty lie. Maybe Barry want to like, what do you want to say to the people that literally lied about what Charlie was living through in the last weeks of his life? Stop, Josh Hammer. Stop, Bibi Netanyahu. No, I'm sorry. Barry Weiss is here. We're not going to get to that. Charlie was a committed evangelical who only liked Catholic architecture. Did I lie about that? Nope. Turning Point USA lied about that. And I was attacked for telling me, I'm attacked for catching the lies. We'll get to that later. That's their new method. Once first they accuse me of lying, then I prove I'm not lying. And then their strategy is to attack me for telling the truth and saying, how dare you reveal a personal text message to defend yourself from being called a liar. We can keep going here. Has any of this been clarified? Ben Shapiro said they never had any bad blood between them. I proved that was not true. Again, that also came from a little PR. Alex Clark pulling that move. Next page, Terrell Farnsworth was told to remove that SD card by police. That was not true. Terrell Farnsworth personally told me that was not true. Terrell removed the SD cards because people were stealing hats. Again, not what Terrell Farnsworth himself told me. And also doesn't make any logical sense because if you were worried about theft, you would have taken the cameras and not just the SD card, particularly from the camera behind his head, as opposed to the cameras that were in front of him. Lie. Charlie established a Doge and it was not unusual. That's a lie. It was unusual. Doge didn't even exist prior to Elon Musk making that a thing about government accountability. Charlie Kirk's team did not fly drones. Major lie. Brian Harpole told that lie. Brian Harpole also told a major lie when he said that the security had communicated with UVU police to secure those rooftops. That was a lie. It was actually
Somebody made a list. So Candace has been keeping a list of all the lies that Turning Point USA has told. But Erika Kirk still hasn't said what is the lie that you take issue with. Like what is the alleged lie? Erika hasn't said that. She just looks at the camera and just says stop.
actually the walkway behind. What am I getting here? What have I done here in this presentation that I lied about? Have I made mistakes along the way? Yes, I'm not perfect, and I will always adjust those mistakes. So I'm asking you to tell me what I lied about. Why is there not this same energy also for the feds? Because they've told some lies. We've got a list of those too. We put that together. We would like some clarity. Again, Charlie being shot with a 30-06. The lover text messages mysteriously presented without any timestamps.
I'm just going to add this part here, what I've been saying for quite some time, and I think you guys see it too. The fact that Erika even believes the narrative from the FBI should give everyone pause. Because any of us that saw what the FBI said, all of us were like, we have questions. It didn't make any sense. Hell, my dad didn't even know who Charlie Kirk was until this happened. And even my dad was like, yeah, definitely don't believe what the FBI is saying. I mean, it's just, so the fact that Erika believes the official narrative from the FBI, what does that tell you about Erika Kirk? When everybody else out here with a brain and eyes are able to see that there are things that were missing from the report from the FBI, there were holes in this completely. They lied and said, oh yeah, he was on the roof and we don't see any video footage with this guy with this gun in his hand on the roof. Then we come to find out that you can't even disassemble that weapon quickly, that it takes a long amount of time to do so. And we're supposed to believe that's supposed to be the same weapon, right? So most people I know don't agree with the official FBI narrative. He was Erika Kirk's husband. Why does she believe it? That's the question people need to ask. Because I don't know. If you ask me, she stepped up right up mighty quickly to start taking over Turning Point USA and doing all these interviews. And let me get out here and sell this book. And then when you look at her history and you see that she's been on reality TV, she knows how to act. She was a pageant girl. Then you look into the organization in Romania and you look into her parents and like what they did. Now, she can't help what her parents did, but I'm just saying all these things together don't sound good. I mean, her mom worked for Homeland Security. Pop was working over there helping Israel. So put all these things together. It's wild to me, fam.
Lying about how Tyler Robinson was arrested. They claim that he confessed and turned himself in. That's not what happened. That he said he was guilty. All of his, father said he was guilty. That's not what happened. Never revealed that Tyler Robinson was at the Dairy Queen following the assassination. He was throwing clothes away, as I presented to you guys, in the cemetery. That's problematic to the timeline. We'd like some clarity. That's an oddity. They said Tyler Robinson was arrested wearing a maroon shirt. That actually was also not true. They said Tyler Robinson was suicidal, but also turned himself in because he was afraid of being shot by police. Those two ideas seem to be running into each other. How can both of these things be true? Did he want to die or not want to die? Maybe there's an explanation. It's definitely odd. And the footage mysteriously missing of Tyler Robinson turning himself in. And then, of course, there's just like things that we can't get answers to, which is the Egyptian planes. Tracking Charlie, following Erika throughout years. Instead, they're laughing at these things. So what am I lying about? Explicitly lying about. Not made a molecular or a minor mistake. We got a time zone wrong. And then it's like, she lied. The plane left a couple of hours earlier. Maybe somewhere I made a mistake on a timeline. of Charlie being here on this day when he's actually there on that day. But I'm talking like, where am I lying? Because I would like to stop if you can tell me. Okay. And maybe they will. Maybe we'll get to that on Saturday. And by the way, to be clear, I am also telling the truth. It is not my opinion that these questions were pre-selected. It's a fact. It's a fact. I said we have insiders. The questions were pre-selected. And one of the pre-selected questions was for Erika, and this will come out on Saturday, setting the stage for her to condemn anti-Semitism, to which she responds and speaks about, as I told you yesterday, how Turning Point will be hosting a Shabbat dinner. And in case the direction of travel for CBS under the stewardship of Barry Weiss is not clear, they even brought in during this town hall the father of the young woman who was shot in DC at the Jewish Museum. I think that was an IDF soldier. I might be wrong about that. They also brought out Hunter Kozak, who asked the last question to Charlie Kirk. They filled the audience with people selected by CBS, college Republicans, with questions selected by CBS. So
this is a thing. This also happens during these the politician town halls. They do this as well. Like these random people that they select in the audience and they say, oh, we have a question from Sabrinasalvati, who is a student at such and such. Yeah, that shit ain't random. Them people selected ahead of time. The questions are chosen ahead of time. They want the viewers to think it's random, but it's not. The people that they have in these town halls are selected ahead of time. It's not something you just show up and attend. So Candace is basically giving everybody the heads up before that town hall airs. And I believe it's Saturday. Yeah, Saturday is the day that the town hall is going to air. So she's just letting you guys know. So she also said one of the things they're trying to get Erika to do, I guess, during that town hall is also to come forward about condemning anti-Semitism and I guess how Turning Point USA is going to be involved in all of that. So do you see what I was saying? This is why Barry Weiss was given that position. This isn't just about Charlie Kirk. This is about a greater mission for Barry Weiss, and that is the pro-Zionist mission. And she's going to try to do whatever she can to get Turning Point USA on board with that mission, because a lot of the younger people are saying, no, we don't want to support Israel. And that seems to be a problem. And here's another damn question I want you guys to ask yourself. What happens to Turning Point USA after Trump's presidency ends? Because remember, Turning Point USA, like to be honest, it really kind of kicked off during the first Trump election. So what happens to Turning Point USA once Donald Trump is not running for president again? He ran in 2016, ran in 2020, ran for re-election in 2020, and ran in 2024. What happens to that machine? So I think they're already trying to set the stage for something else, something bigger, something greater. Some people say, well, maybe they'll start making, J.D. Vance a part of it, or the next, Republican candidate that they want to get behind. But I don't know, man. It was kind of born about during that Trump era. So what happens to Turning Point USA after Trump's final term? So I think they're trying to find other ways right now to make money. So don't be surprised if they go in even harder and stronger with the Israel message.
Oh, it just is objectively a controlled and a managed situation, a controlled and a managed conversation, if you will. But, and you can predict this, if you are at home this Saturday and you watch this and you're just, a regular old person around the world and you go, this feels really scripted. The influencers are going to come out and they're going to mark you as evil, demonic even. How dare you? Question, what? Are you kidding me? This is you're not allowed to say that this feels scripted ever, even though this entire thing since September 10th feels scripted to me. But that's not it. Okay, we're going to get more because Erika also sat down with Glenn Beck of Blaze TV. Now, again, this is all a part of a PR blitz for Charlie's upcoming book on honoring the Shabbat, which I'm not going to be doing because I'm Christian. So I'd like to already just say no. Okay. Anyways, Glenn Beck's interview has a bunch of high points, if you will. Foremost, Erika stressing that she believes that the truth is clear. Take a listen.
I don't know how you handle this, Eric. I don't know how to be dragged into, you were involved in the death and all this crazy, evil stuff.
No, it's sick.
God bless you.
It's sick.
God bless you. It is.
My family means everything to me. Turning Point USA has always been in our life and has always been so good to Charlie, and Charlie was good to his team. Everyone.
But remember, when she says family, she's not just talking about her immediate family. She's also talking about Turning Point USA. Remember, she already made that clear. So everybody needs to catch that.
Loved Charlie.
Yeah.
I get that. Everyone wants an answer to this evil. And sometimes the answer is very clear.
Yeah.
The truth is very clear.
So I just want to say to first and foremost, Glenn setting that question up, I can't find to this day, because this just feels to me to be like the ultimate straw man, any commentator that has explicitly accused Erika of killing Charlie Kirk. I've seen psychological manipulation of influencers trying to say that if you critique Turning Point, that's akin to accusing Charlie Kirk of Erika Kirk of killing her husband, which is utterly ridiculous. But I have never seen, and maybe I missed it, I've seen a lot, somebody come out and say Erika Kirk murdered Charlie. But that's what they set up always, which is like, I don't know how you are. I've seen people digging into her background. I've seen people speaking about her Romanian charity. I've seen people looking into her mother, all of that. I've seen all of that, but I have not yet seen where this idea that they keep trying to seed into our minds that asking any questions is equivalent to accusing her of murder.
Yeah, that part, I haven't seen podcasters or commentators do that either. But you see how where they're taking this now? You see how far they're trying to take it? Like, oh my God, these people, they're saying that you murdered your own husband. But I haven't seen any podcasters say that. Again, she talking about people trying to make money, but here she is selling a book.
We're human. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's 31 years old. And that's way more profound than I think anything I could say. He did not just write this book, he lived it. So when you feel something so deeply and you've experienced it and you lived it, you want to be able to tell other people, look, this will change your life. I know it might sound simple, but sometimes the best answers are the most simple ones.
Sounds just like a salesman, doesn't she? Like, it's just like, this might change your life. Even this sounds scripted. I feel like you're trying to sell me. You're the person that knocked on my door and tried to sell me them damn calculators that didn't even work half the time anyway. That's what I feel like I am witnessing and entertaining. That's what's happening in front of me. It's the people that knock on the door and say, this is going to change your life. Or the people that used to sell the vacuums door to door. Get this vacuum, everything will change. Oh my God.
Truth. And our whole team knew on days where he didn't get a full Sabbath and did, because he just was so locked in, and he just, again, was the most incredible man. But this just took him to a whole new level. And it was in a way where you would look at him and be like, whatever you're doing, I want to do. And he's like, here. And this is his final message. This is what I'm trying to express to people. This is Charlie's last book. So people can write books all about my husband and what he believed and what he said and analyze his videos. These are his words. And when you read them, you feel him come to life. It's powerful.
It is very powerful. And it really caused me, as I read it, again, I read the whole thing, and
I'll be honest, I can't read the last few pages. I'm not there yet. It's just emotionally, because once this book is done, it's done.
Of course. Yeah. I mean, everybody thinks we should all mourn a certain way.
Right.
Okay, well, until you walk a mile.
I don't know what to tell you guys. I really don't know what to tell you. Salesman, the sales tactic. And then there's one more here that I want to show you because this is getting very weird. Now, Erika doesn't understand why people are asking questions. She wants people to just let this go. She believes the official narrative from the FBI. But Tyler Robinson was in court Thursday morning. Tyler Robinson's parents were removed by the judge from the hearing. I want you guys to see this for yourself. Shout out to Project Constitution who shared this. The judge in Tyler Robinson's case just ordered today's hearing closed to the public. Tyler Robinson's parents were banned from watching their own son's hearing. I'm going to show it to you right here, guys. This is wild. Watch.
All rise. Court is being now second. The Honorable Tony F. Graff Jr. presides.
Please be seated. So as we begin, the first part is we'll begin by addressing the October 14th audio recording and the October 24th transcript. This portion of the hearing will be closed so that I may hear from the parties regarding which portions of the recording, the record should remain sealed. All members of the public and the press will be excused, and the hearing will not be broadcast. This is because I need to hear what should or should not be sealed or protected, and it would not benefit to have everyone listen to what should be sealed. And so after I've heard argument, we will invite all parties or the public and the media to come back in, and the hearing will resume transmission. We will then take up the motion for limited intervention, followed by the state's motion to amend or clarify the publicity order. These portions, the last two portions, will be open to the public and to the press. After hearing argument on all three matters, I will take a brief recess and then return to issue my ruling today. We will then stand in recess. So at this point, we'll go ahead and excuse the public and the media, and it is the court's order that transmission be terminated temporarily.
Your Honor, we have one request with respect to the closed hearing. May I be heard on that?
Yes, counsel.
Thank you. Richard Novak for Mr. Robinson. Mr. Robinson has some immediate family members who are present, his father, his mother, and his brother. And we would ask the court to permit them to remain in the courtroom during the closed portion of the hearing.
To the state.
My only concern with that, Your Honor, is that we're going to be talking about court security measures. And I don't know that we'll have to go into a lot of detail about that, but I do have concerns about those issues being discussed in public.
All right. Mr. Novak, do you have authority that supports allowing them to remain in a closed hearing?
No, I think it's subject to the court's discretion to decide who is and is not an appropriate member of the public. I think they have a unique relationship with Mr. Robinson, and they would certainly abide by any orders the court makes concerning disclosure of what is discussed in closed session. But obviously it's up to the court.
It is up to the court. So I understand what he's saying about it being closed to the public, but those are his parents. So watch this.
Thank you, Mr. Novak. I'm going to rule that they will be excluded as well. It is just given the nature and the sensitivity of it, I believe it is appropriate to treat all parties in the public equally, though I do recognize their relationship with Mr. Robinson. Thank you for your request.
So it's already begun. And this is why people have questions. And this is why people are like, yo, what is this? What's happening? I understand that's just a hearing, but at the same time, that's not just the public. Like, those are his parents. So why can't they be there? He's like, oh, because of security measures, you know? So it's very weird. First of all, this is the first time I've seen Tyler Robinson in quite some time. This is my first time seeing like his, you know, hearing about the parents more so now. But get ready, folks, because just like the Luigi Mangione trial, this one's going to be another doozy. And Erika, I wanted to play that so that you guys understand. When Erika sits up there and she says, like, she believes the narrative from the FBI, she doesn't want you to question things like what I just showed you, that they wanted they getting the parents out of the hearing. She doesn't want to question those things. She's like, just believe the official FBI narrative that came from Kash Patel, who has shown us multiple times that he does not know how to do his job. So we are now seeing this fired upness from Erika and Candace. And I was wondering if this was going to happen. And now it has reached that point. So where does it go from here? I don't know. I would imagine that after that town hall is released over the weekend, there's probably going to be more that needs to be said. But Barry Weiss and all of them right now, they trying to stir it. They trying to make it, you know, they're basically trying to get as many people to attack Candace as possible. That's why Barry Weiss asked her that question. And that's why Barry Weiss said Candace's name. But Erika, to me, again, like I said, she's sketchy, she's shady, but at the same time, this is something that she could do privately. She could have reached out to Candace already by now if she really wanted to. It's not like she knows no way to reach. She could have done that already. Doesn't want to. So buckle up, folks. It's only going to get messier from here. After that town hall, it's only going to get messier from here. Hey guys, this was a Sabby clip. If you like what you saw, hit that like button and subscribe.